Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Borders Home. Alhamdulillah, hari ini Ramadan ke-16. Saya nak ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada semua yang join live malam ni. Okay, malam ni kita agak special kerana kita dapat slot untuk Ustaz Mizi Wahid daripada Singapura. Dan malam ni tajuk juga special. Regardless of gender, regardless of nationality and regardless of your belief. Tajuk malam ni iaitu self-love. Jadi yes, kita tunggu Ustaz Mizi Wahid. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Khabar?
Alhamdulillah. Apa khabar Ustaz?
I'm okay. Feeling a bit better. I was a bit unwell today.
Dapat tidur ke tadi? Nampak juga tadi tu status.
Tak dapat. So, itulah.
Alhamdulillah. Tapi Alhamdulillah saya tahu jadual Ustaz sangat padat bulan Ramadan ni. Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah. How's Singapore?
Singapore's good. If you're asking about COVID, I think pretty much in control lah, Alhamdulillah. Under control.
Alhamdulillah. Malaysia is survive. Doakan kami kat sini.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back to Malaysia, insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. Okay. Kita nak buang masa. Jadi sebelum itu, Ustaz dah ready?
Boleh? InsyaAllah. Bismillah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Terima kasih lagi sekali kepada Ustaz. Terima kasih kepada Iman Publication regarding our campaign Rising Bravely Together Iman X Borders. And Alhamdulillah Ustaz, thank you so much again for your time, for your precious time. We know your schedule is tight. Yep. So malam ni sangat special. Tajuk yang diberi adalah self-love. So tajuk ni memang regardless of gender, regardless of nationality, regardless of belief. Yeah, regardless of belief. Self-love is that we need now. Jadi kepada Ustaz, sebelum itu saya nak kenalkan kepada semua orang siapa Ustaz Mizi Wahid, okay? Ustaz Mizi Wahid nama sebenar Tarmizi, Muhammad Tarmizi, dan adalah bekas graduan daripada Universiti Al-Azhar dan berkhidmat dengan Majlis Islam Agama Singapura hampir 10 tahun ke Ustaz?
Tak, 2 tahun je kat sana.
Oh, 2 tahun. Dan Ustaz ada organisasi yang dipanggil sebagai boleh pergi ke website tu, Safina Institute. CEO and founder Safina Institute. Dan Ustaz sebenarnya kalau kita tahu lebih lanjut, Ustaz adalah advisory kepada banyak big company, big association. Alhamdulillah. Ya, bila kita dengar tu semua tahu jadual Ustaz confirm padat bulan Ramadan ni. Dan bulan Ramadan ni semua orang dah berebut nak kebaikan, jadi waktu ni mesti ramai Ustaz, Ustazah. Waktu tu memang padat 24 hours. Alhamdulillah. Okey, tanpa membuang masa lagi, kita terus kepada kita punya topik malam ni iaitu self-love. Okey, self-love. Seeing a hope after despair. Okey. Sebelum ni dengan Ustazah Liana memang ada banyak soalan. Especially after pandemic ni Ustaz. After pandemic ni semua orang merasai jiwa tu bercampur-campur. Tak kira. Regardless your age, semua orang terkesan. Sama ada yang muda, yang tua, yang berkerjaya, yang masih lagi belajar. Jadi apa pengharapan yang boleh kita letak setelah segala yang berlaku? Some people lost the job, some people struggle in their marriage, some people struggle in their study, tak habis-habis belajar. What is the hope that we need and how we can dapatkan benda tu, satu pengharapan tu, benda yang kita realizationkan dia.
Thank you so much, Atika.
Uh,
So yes, I think a lot of people were affected during the pandemic. Many people struggled. Some people, like you said, lost their jobs. Some people are still stuck with their studies. Some people are still separated from their loved ones who are overseas. Some people had to make so many adjustments. Some people had to change jobs. Some people lost loved ones. Ada yang kehilangan ahli keluarga. Then it's definitely tough. It's a tough moment for a lot of people. And when tough times come, it becomes very difficult for us to see the light at the end of the tunnel, to see hope, because everything's so dark. And I think there is a higher tendency for us to actually want to give up, because giving up seems like the easy option. You give up, at least you're not trying anymore. You're not hoping anymore. You're not wishing anymore. You're not waiting for your prayers to be answered anymore, and that reduces a lot of the stress, right? So I guess that's one thing that a lot of people resort to sometimes. But I do hope that we don't give up too soon. I do hope that somehow, some way, we'll still be able to see the positivities that are still around, the blessings that are present amidst all of the disappointments. Okay. So, by the way, I keep hearing a buzzing sound. Is that me or you? Macam apa tu? You dengar tak?
Dengar.
Is it you or me? I feel like there's nothing here. Okay, anyways, tak apa. I tanya je, tak tahu is it just me, I dengar seorang ke atau you pun dengar juga. So what I was saying is, even in tough times, what we need to train ourselves to do is to always find where are the blessings that God gave us. Okay? Because there are plenty around us. You may have lost one thing, but God still allowed you to enjoy many other blessings. Okay? You may have lost someone, but God then replaced it with someone new. Yes, now it's okay. I agree.
Yeah, thank you.
You lost your job, but then God gave you another income opportunity. It could be something else, like you used to be employed, now you're self-employed. You used to have a job, but now you run your own business. You used to run a business, had to close down because of the pandemic, now you have a job. It could be anything, right? But I always believe that if we train our minds to always look for what's going right in my life, not just focus on what's going wrong in my life, we'll be a lot more happier, we'll be a lot more at peace, we will constantly feel blessed. And it's so important to feel blessed, because you can tell the difference between somebody who's walking in front of you, feeling like they are living a cursed life, versus someone who's walking in front of you or sitting in front of you, who feel like they are living a blessed life. It's in the way they walk, in the way they talk, in the way they dress, in the way they speak about themselves. Okay? A person who feels blessed, you would normally say, I'm so grateful, bersyukur sangat, alhamdulillah. Like, these are the constant things they would say repeatedly. The ones who have not yet trained themselves to think that way, you'll probably hear a lot more complaints, telling you what's wrong with their life, telling you how long they've been waiting for something, like constantly. Like once in a while is fine, but like constant. I think that's a challenge that person must try to overcome. Okay? And this thing takes time. You can't just change your whole entire mindset overnight. But you need to practice. So every day when you wake up, Atika, look around you and ask, what am I grateful for, and what am I blessed with right now? You could wake up, open your eyes, you see a roof over your head. That should be something you should be grateful for. You wake up, your loved ones are still at home. Something to be grateful for. You leave your house, you know that there is a workplace you are headed to. Something to be grateful for. You may complain, I don't like my work, I don't like my job, I don't like my colleagues, I don't like my boss. But you have a job. There are some people out there without a job. You know, like, so the moment we start shifting the way we look at things, inshallah, you know, you'll see more hope, and you'll live a more positive life. You'll be a lot more optimistic that things can and will get better eventually.
I think that another thing, to how to avoid we compare ourselves with others people. Macam orang tu still dapat kerja, still dapat ni. On how to compare, how to avoid the compare with people. How to avoid.
Well, my first answer is I just released a video today about that, so you can watch that. Baru je tadi. It's about unhealthy comparisons. It's a short video. Yeah, so that video kind of like, you know, is the answer to it, kind of. But I guess the answer is similar. To stop comparing, you need to look inward, not outward. You need to look at your own life, not other people's lives too much. The Prophet ﷺ's advice is look at those beneath you, then you'll realize how grateful you are, how blessed you are. If you keep looking at those above you, you'll think that God forgot about you. You'll think that God didn't bless you. And so look at how fortunate you are in life. Look at how privileged you are. Look at all the things you have that other people are wishing for. Maybe earlier when you had iftar, you had 5 options, 5 dishes in front of you. Some people, their iftar is just nasi putih, kicap, nasi telur. Like, that's it. They can't afford anything. Sahur Maggi, iftar Maggi. Bukan pasal diorang suka Maggi, sebab tak ada pilihan. And that's how we should look at our lives and realize that, you know what, I'm complaining about this, I'm complaining about the traffic, I'm complaining about the politics, I'm complaining about the economy. So many things I'm complaining about, but look, I'm still eating very, very well. I'm still sleeping comfortably on my bed every night. You know, so the moment you start shifting the way you look at things, everything you look at begins to change as well. And what that means is you'll have a more positive outlook. And to me, that is crucial in order for us to attain happiness and peace.
About the blessing, on how, because to feel the blessing is not like automatically, because automatically is negative. Kita bangun-bangun sebenarnya negatif tu boleh ada je depan mata. Jalan jam, negatif dah macam-macam semua. On how we can create the blessing feel.
On how we can what, sorry?
How we can create the blessing feel. To feel blessed.
Create the feeling that you are blessed, is it?
Yes.
Count your blessings. You know, it sounds so cliche, but every day you wake up, you have to make it a point. Just like how, you know, you might say that, oh, but it's not normal, you know, you wake up, immediately there are problems. But you wake up every day, I'm pretty sure, Atika, every day without fail, you will brush your teeth, correct? Every day without fail, you will wash your face, correct? Every day without fail, you will take a shower, correct? You put on new clothes before you leave your house, correct? Yes. So all of these things are routines. And so what we need to do is to just add one more new routine. One more new routine is that we sit down and we reflect for a moment. It only takes a minute, 2 minutes, just to think of the things that we are grateful for. Okay? The things that God has bestowed in our life. That we never took the time to say thank you. So this is the time when we actually get to say thank you, Allah, for all the blessings that you've given me. And the more we train ourselves to do this on a regular basis, it will become a habit. And once it's a habit, it's very hard for you to to drop it, you know, because it's habit, menjadi satu kebiasaan.
Yes, betul. I have been practice this since 2017. Ada satu buku ni panggil The Magic by Rhonda Byrne. I love on how Rhonda practice. Thank you. It is not in Muslim, but I love on how to practice. I changed it like, thank you Allah for give me the brave heart. Thank you Allah dalam kereta on the way sepanjang perjalanan tu. Thank you Allah for give me a really strong hand so I can drive to office. And yeah, the gratitude one is the wording dia kena practical macam Ustaz katalah habit. Sebab once kita dah stop, habis semuanya.
Yeah, correct. That's good.
Dan okay, kepada yang lain, for those just join, we just start. The topic is self-love. If you have any question regarding self-love or anything, you can ask at the comment section, okay? Are you sure you're feeling good now, Ustaz?
Boleh, insyaAllah.
Ya, alhamdulillah, insyaAllah. Okay, one of the to like macam kalau ada orang dia akan suka bagi luahan macam untuk pada orang yang dia percaya. How to be a good listener. Ada orang macam tengok kita, Atika, you nampak okay, nampak happy. Macam mana jadi happy macam you? And then they start comparing. So, apa bagi macam kita sebagai listener can advise them because we are not counselor.
Sometimes, right, people don't want to listen to a lecture or advice. So they come to us and they complain. And if we think that their complaining is unhealthy for them and it's affecting us as well, so you can do a different kind of an approach. Instead of you saying, you know, don't complain or stop complaining, you know what you can do instead? What you can do is you can start complimenting them on their blessings. For example, you can say, contoh lah, Hatika, you come to me and you complain about your life lah, about your relationships lah, about your job lah, you complain. And then I say, MashaAllah, Hatika, you know, you're so confident when you speak on camera. I saw you do some videos, you speak very well. Then, you know, Atika, your mind starts to shift from thinking about all your problems and my friend is complimenting me. My friend notices my strengths, my talents, my gifts. Then suddenly the person starts to think, actually I am quite okay, right? You know, I am quite blessed, am I not? Kan? And then balik, you dalam perjalanan balik nanti you senyum seorang, kan? Macam suddenly you are like, you're no longer dwelling on all the negativities. You're now a lot more focused on your blessings. And that's how we can help, you know. So by being a good listener, you listen, you don't interrupt to let them express whatever they need to express. I think that's what a good friend does. And if you feel like, if I tell this person off and say, stop complaining, can you be a bit more grateful? If you think that's not going to help, then don't do that. Instead, what you do is you highlight to them, you magnify all the, you know, talents, the gifts, the abilities that God has blessed them with that they forgot. And I think it will raise their self-esteem, raise their self-worth, raise their self-confidence, and raise awareness of their own unique blessings from Allah.
InsyaAllah. Thank you, Ustaz, for that. Okay, I got a question. Okay, from Farah Hairi. I would like to know your opinion and how you think we can practice self-love when we are actually turned to Allah for the sin we did to other humans.
When we are what to Allah, sorry?
Okay, like
when we are what
on
to
how
Allah?
to practice self-love, tapi kita masih teringat lagi dosa-dosa kita pada Allah Ta'ala dan juga pada manusia.
Both or just one of them?
Pada Allah dan juga pada manusia. Kita macam mana kita nak left
okay, I think I saw the question.
Practice self-love.
I saw the question. I'd like to know your
Yeah.
opinion and how you think we can practice self-love when we actually turn to Allah for the sin we did to other humans. Yet we are unsure whether the
Yes.
person has forgiven us, because it seems as humans we still rely on each other's assurance and acceptance towards us. Yeah, very good question. So even in our religion, it says that there are two different types of sins and wrongdoing that we do. The wrongdoing that we do to ourselves and disobedience to Allah, and the other one is the wrongdoings that we do towards other people. And scholars all say that when it comes to the sins that you did wrong to yourself, menzalimi diri sendiri, committing sin towards Allah, there's tawbah, there's istighfar, there's feeling remorseful, setting a resolution to not commit the wrongdoing again. But when it comes to the wrongdoing that we do to other people, the scholars say that what we need to do is we need to go to that person and apologize. So what Farah is asking right now is, she has apologized, but the person that she did wrong to did not reply, or did not say apology accepted, or did not say aku maafkan kau, or did not return with a smiley face if it's a message, or did not smile back when they were face to face. They just walked away. They blocked you. They stopped contacting you. They said nothing. So I guess, Farah and anyone in her position would definitely be suffering. I think it's only human that we suffer when we don't get the acknowledgement that we were hoping for, the forgiveness that we were seeking, the mercy that we were praying for. So the person just ignored us. What I want to say to Farah and the rest who are going through a similar problem, I understand the guilt that you feel in your heart, the feeling of restlessness. It feels very uncomfortable, uneasy. You can't sleep peacefully, you can't eat peacefully, right? It's always playing in your mind. And here's what I want to say. I want to say is, please focus only on what you needed to do. And what you needed to do was to actually apologize. And Farah, you already have apologized. So technically, you've already done your part. Don't worry too much about how the other person responds, when they respond, how they're going to respond, whether it's a yes or a no. Because all of those things are not really in your control, and they are no longer your responsibility. This does not mean that you don't need to, like, maybe 2-3 years from now you try again. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't. It's not like complete lepas tangan, let go. But for now, you can move on with your life, with peace, because you did the right thing. Okay, and that's all there is to it. Okay, you move on. You dua every day. Oh Allah, please soften the heart of so and so that one day they'll be gracious enough to be able to forgive me and pardon me. That's it. Okay? So, yang penting kita usaha untuk nak minta maaf. We put our ego aside, seek forgiveness, and the rest of it, we leave it to them and we leave it to Allah.
Thank you so much, Ustaz. And got another question, this one from Jam. How do you help yourself change your mindset when people around you are constantly putting you down?
Very good question. Sometimes the problem is not that we don't want to change. Sometimes our surrounding, our environment is what makes it difficult for us to change. We don't have a buddy. We don't have a support system. We don't have people who believe in us. And all of these things just make it 10 times more difficult, right? 10 times more difficult. We really want to, but we can't. And we find it very difficult. So when your surrounding is negative, there are a few considerations. The most common thing I hear people say is, Ustaz, this environment is not good. The people around me, I need to leave. When I leave, then things get better. Well, that is an option. It's a valid option. And if you think that is something you can do, go ahead. But not everyone is capable of walking away from their environment, no matter how negative it is. Because maybe their most negative environment is at home, and they just can't leave home. Maybe their most negative environment is at their workplace, and they know that the economy is now very tough. They can't leave because they have a family at home that depends on them. Right? So not everyone is blessed with the freedom to walk away.
Yes.
But even if you have the choice, I want to say this to everyone. Sometimes, as much as you might wish away all this negativity and negative people, what if, think about this, what if actually God is more interested to see a change in you rather than seeing a change in your environment?
Yes.
Right? Because what if it's all a test? And to pass the test, what is expected of you was to actually display more patience, to be more tolerant, to be more accepting, to be more forgiving, right? To overlook small errors and mistakes. You know, what if? Just ask yourself, like, what if? And you know how amazing, if you knew how amazing you could be, if you practiced your patience in this negative environment, if you developed more composure, if you developed your emotional maturity, right? Can you imagine the kind of person you will be 1 year from now? You'll be a lot stronger. You can deal with any challenge in front of you, any adversity. You can bounce back from any setback. Okay? But you need to pass the test first. Are there people who walk away from their test? Yeah. Just like you go into an exam hall, you choose to like walk away from the exam. This is so difficult, this paper. You walk away. Can you walk away? Yes.
Boleh?
Yes, you walk away. But what happens? What happens when you walk away? You don't pass. You don't graduate.
Fail.
You fail. So you don't graduate. What does it mean? When you graduate from secondary 3, you graduate, you move to secondary 4. Right? Kat sana dipanggil apa? Form 3 to Form 4.
Secondary panggil
Right?
form.
So, but if you choose to walk away from your exam because it's too difficult in Sec 3, will you move to Form 4? I don't think so. It's not going to happen. Your teachers are not going to just say, okay, you can scrap all your exam, just we'll promote you anyway. I believe that in life it's similar. It's similar. All that God put you through is in one way to test you, but in another way to also develop you, to help you see the real potential that you possess. And all that you possess are truly, truly gifts and blessings from Him to you. You just need to unlock it one door at a time, okay? Or maybe one drawer at a time. And then you find one new strength, one new talent, one new gift, one new ability. But you need to be patient. You need to have husnuzon, to have good assumptions towards whatever that's happening. And I believe that you can only get stronger from here.
You mentioned about the husnuzon. Okay, on how we can put belief on Allah in the tough time. Kita nak letak keyakinan kepada Allah Ta'ala tu 100%, tapi dalam keadaan kita tengah tough. Kita dalam keadaan dalam bank tu hanya ada RM5 saja. Bagaimana kita nak wujudkan perasaan yakin kepada Allah Ta'ala?
I think, you know, I've heard many stories of people who have that similar example you mentioned, you know. Banyak tanggungjawab, tengok dalam poket, RM5. Tengok dalam bank account, kosongnya banyak kat depan bukan kat belakang. So, you know, I've met people like that before. You know, I went through similar times to, you know, tough times as well. I ingat satu kali tu nak isi minyak kereta cuma ada $20 je. And that's pretty much like the minimum you can top up, you know. And that was all. But you need to sometimes just keep the faith that as long as you continue working hard, as long as you keep putting out the best version of you that Allah has given you, as long as you try not to waste your time complaining and instead thinking creatively for solutions, thinking of how else you can add value, thinking of who you can contact, reach out to teach you, to guide you, to support you, to mentor you, then in actuality, the solutions are endless. But your mindset cannot be the kind where you look at your status and you say, this is my luck. I'm down to 5 ringgit. This is my luck. God doesn't love me. So there's no husnuzan at all. There's no belief at all that life can actually be better. Okay? I always believe that the best is yet to come. If you read my book, there's a it's not a chapter, but it's a sub-chapter, I think. I wrote the best is yet to come. And if you keep telling yourself that better days are coming, my best days are still ahead of me, it's very hard to stay negative because your mind becomes more hopeful. I've heard people sometimes complain, Atika, they say, I don't like to hope because many times my hopes were crushed. You know, I hate hoping. But I always believe, yes, that's, by the way, that one Dr. Hanan, Atika, is actually the Deputy Mufti of Singapore.
Yes.
Yes. And Dr. Hanan, I actually remember that story you told me many years ago when I was a student. So thank you. So we all go through. Look at where he is right now. Kan? Yang penting jangan berputus asa and don't give up on God. Don't give up on yourself. Sometimes for some people, their motivation is family. All they need to do is just imagine the people at home. They imagine the faces of their children. They imagine the condition of their parents who are getting older, retired. They cannot, these are the fuel, but you always surrender to God. There's a beautiful hadith about, how the Prophet ﷺ used an analogy that if we truly learn how to surrender our affairs to God, we would not worry. We're like the bird that leaves its nest in the morning with its belly empty, but always comes back home to its nest in the evening with its belly full. You always begin the day, and it's another fresh new 24 hours that God gives you. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Some people are going to sit down and play with their phone the whole day. Some people are just going to, scroll on Instagram and Twitter and non-stop TikTok, whatever. Some people are just going to play video games. Some people are just going to read gossip. Some people, they are applying 20 jobs a day because they don't have a job. Instead of complaining, kena reject lagi, tak dapat lagi, semua tak ada orang, no one's hiring right now, it's a bad time to apply for a job. Instead of complaining, apply. Today we are so blessed that in one day you can submit 100 job applications. Everything is just a click of a button. If you say there are no jobs, then why are there so many listings? There's so many listings out there. Okay, the listings are not there for no reason. There are opportunities, and you just gotta keep trying. The one who wins sometimes are not the smartest ones, are not the most qualified ones. They're just the ones who never gave up on themselves. They never gave up on God. And they always stay positive.
Thank you, Ustad. Yes, we need this. Never give up. Okay, the next question from, got a lot of question. Shuhada Harun, Ustad, but it is a human nature that we always want more in life, just so what we can strive further. From Shuhada Harun. Human nature. what we want in life.
You always want more, is it? Striving for more. I think it's okay to strive for more. Maybe she asked this question when we were talking about comparing, I think. Maybe that was the time when the question came in.
Yeah.
So, okay, sometimes when you look at other people who are doing better than you, there are two ways to interpret that. Number one, you might feel like it's unfair. How come that person is given more in life? We say, when I'm a good person too, when I never miss my prayers. And you look at it as, it's not fair. Be careful when you start thinking that way, because sometimes it develops into what we call hasad. And hasad is very, it's an illness of the heart. You start wishing that that person loses their blessing. You start wishing that you get it instead when it's taken away from them, and so on. There are many types of hasad, right? And that's very, very dangerous. It's not good. It's unhealthy. The moment you get stuck into one of those things, it becomes a common thing. Anytime you see other people happy, you can't be happy for them, and you keep wishing that their blessings are taken away. But there's another way, Atika, for you to interpret that. When you see someone else more blessed than you, another way of looking at it is, I want to learn how they got there. I want to work twice as hard than I am right now so that I can get there. Okay? I want to learn, read books, attend courses, workshops, so that I can pick up the skills, upgrade myself, so I can get to that level too. So these are the two types of mindsets that we can have. There's nothing wrong with wanting more, because normally when you rise up, the challenges get harder. But the desire to be at the very top of your industry or whatever is that you're going to be able to create a bigger difference. The impact is bigger. Sometimes it could be reach. You get a wider reach. Sometimes it's not reach. Sometimes it's influence to a community. Sometimes it's authority in an organization. Like, the impact you create can be a lot bigger. And so there's nothing wrong desiring that, but always keep your heart clean and pure. And one way to do this is to always, always, always revisit your intentions. Why am I doing this? Who's the person who asked tadi? Nama dia siapa?
Shuhada Harun.
Shuhada. So Shuhada, you ask yourself, why do I want more? Is it because of money? Is it because of fame? Is it because other people are doing it, so I want it too? Is it because I'm not happy that person is there, I want to bring her down? Okay? Always check your intentions. Okay? Other more noble things could be, I want to do this for my family. I want to make my family proud. I want to get that position because there has been no Muslim that has ever gotten that position, and I want to be there. I want to be the first valedictorian of this university that came from my kampung or from my state, for example. Okay. I want to be recognized as the top entrepreneur in Malaysia. Then we can go global, and I can represent not just my country, my race, but also my faith. I can be an ambassador. There's so many noble intentions that you can have behind that wish to actually have more, Shuhada. So I hope that kind of answers your question, inshallah.
And after Shuhada question, it's similar. It's from Miss Ferry. Soalan dia, how to adapt with people's jealousy towards us. So seperti rasanya apa yang Ustaz tadi mention tentang hasad. So apa yang perlu kita buat adalah is we try to get our strength. Kita setiap daripada kita ni mesti ada strength kita. Kalau tak ada, kita belajar. We learn. The keyword is learn. InsyaAllah. So semoga dapat menjawab soalan Shuhada dan Miss Ferry.
Yeah, I think Miss Ferry punya question ni the opposite. You are the one being orang lain yang jealous dekat you, bukan you jealous dekat orang. Terbalik. The other way around. Right?
Oh yeah, how to what we should do, ignore them.
Yeah, if other people are jealous of us, first of all, muhasabah and look at yourself. Is there something that you've done that could have caused people to feel jealous? Is it the things you talk about, the things you share on social media? Could those be the things that are causing people to feel jealous? Why are they feeling jealous? That's number one. The second one is, when you think of all of that, then, see whether there's anything that you can do, something you can improve about yourself, okay? The honest truth is that jealousy is the problem of other people's hearts, the state of their heart, okay? They are unhappy with something in their life, they take it out on us, for example, and they become jealous. And they make our life difficult sometimes. But like I said, if you start with self-reflection, you might actually notice, wow, I think I talk too much about my blessings. Allah says, وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ. Allah says, and by the favors of your Lord, proclaim. Allah says, proclaim, mention it, sebutkan nikmat-nikmat yang Allah berikan, right? But I'm pretty sure, just as with everything else in our religion, we are always told to practice things in moderation. On some occasions, you talk about your blessings. On some occasions, you keep it to yourself. I think you need to just know how to balance things off, right? And then, I think, okay, then the person going through it is very, like, someone's jealous of you. What do you do about it? I think you just need to comfort yourself, Don't be too easily affected by what they are thinking and how they are feeling. You can't do much about that. And just ask Allah for protection from other people's hasad. We read it all the time in Surah Al-Falaq. وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. We always seek protection from all of that. So, yeah, I think that would be my response. Thank you.
Thank you. Harap dapat menjawab soalan Miss Ferry. Dan soalan seterusnya, si Melo. Assalamualaikum Ustaz. I'm blessed with good people and loved by them. But how do I know if I'm really in state of feeling blessed and thankful to Allah? Is it wrong to rasa ragu sometimes?
Rasa apa?
Rasa ragu-ragu. Curious. Rasa...
In terms of
the feeling of blessing and thankful.
I don't quite understand though. What does it mean?
Si Melo.
Assalamualaikum Ustaz, I am blessed with good people. How do I know if I'm really in a state of feeling blessed and thankful? Well, I think okay, here's how you express gratitude. Number one, the most obvious thing, people always say, oh, aku bersyukur, then I say Alhamdulillah. That's one way. There's another way you sujud syukur. But you know that there are many other ways for you to really practice gratitude. And that is, whatever Allah gave you, you use it for good. You use the blessings properly. You don't abuse the blessings. Okay? So for example, if God gave you knowledge, you use it to share it with people. If God gave you time, you volunteer to assist other people. If God gave you money, you contribute to help build a library in a kampung, or help a school to fix their computer lab or something. If you have influence, you ajak orang buat baik. Kan? That's how also you express gratitude. And to answer the question, you tak payah ragu-ragu lagi if you know that you're always using your blessings for a good purpose and for a good reason. Yes, always pay it forward.
So gratitude is not only speak out, but it's expressed by sharing.
It's what you do.
By sharing what we have with other people.
Yeah.
And this Ramadan is the best time.
Definitely.
Ramai orang berebut-rebut. Waktu ni lah ramai berebut. Segalanya nak berebut dekat masjid, dekat rumah anak yatim. Okay. The next question from Shazwani Fatin. Ustaz, is it wrong if we always meluahkan what we have faced through our day, complain to release stress, tapi at the same time kita luahkan ada mengumpat orang lain?
I understand the question.
Oh, okay.
So for example, you have a rough day at work. Okay. Atika, are you married?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So bayangkanlah you dah kahwin. Okay. Kita bayangkan. Di tengah Ramadan, kita bayangkan jadi doa.
Okay, doa.
So you bayangkan, you just came back from work. You had a very rough day at work. Your co-worker, your colleague gave you a lot of problems. Your boss scolded you. Your client gave you a difficult time. Like everything went wrong. Okay. Then you come back home. You nampak your husband. You share everything.
Yep.
Okay. You share. You luahkan everything. It's important to do that. I think husband and wife, we should communicate. We should express. Okay. And we should make it a habit to do that. Because who else do we talk to, right? We talk to our spouse.
Yes.
So kita luahkan, and the challenge what this person is saying is that, but then I start mentioning names. Mengumpat ke tu, kan? Nanti you start cakap, si Farida tu, ya Allah, kalau boleh tak nak kerja dengan dia lagi. Na'udzubillah min dzalik perangai dia, kan? Macam, you start mentioning names. And then your husband tanya, siapa? Mana satu yang Farida? Daripada dia tak kenal nama, tak kenal muka, lama-lama semua dia tahu. And I think that's when it starts to cross the line between sharing, expressing, to, you're really backbiting somebody else. But I remember one time, a couple of years ago, I did a course about prohibitions of the tongue. And one of it, we covered this. And I remember one lady, she was like, I think she was at least 50 years old. And she said, Ustaz, every day balik, I mesti share my husband. I kena cerita semua, detail semua, dia cakap. If I tak share detail, tak shock, Ustaz, dia cakap. Tak shock. And I'm like, tapi perlu ke? My question back to them is it really important to give all the details, with all of the names? Sometimes it's not necessary. Okay? So you just need to like figure out, okay, what's, you want to express anger, frustration, stress, express, but maybe we can just cut it at some point and say, okay. But even the best of us, we sometimes, alhamdulillah, terlepas cakap, right? Kita tengah marah terlepas lah. May Allah forgive us, insyaAllah, for all of those moments when we accidentally mentioned, other people.
I think we only have 10 minutes left. Masa sangat menceburui kita, Ustaz. So, apa yang tadi Ustaz simpulkan untuk soalan daripada tentang penceritaan, kalau kita luahkan hati tu, sebenarnya belum kahwin pun saya dah luah kepada ibu saya.
Yeah, I mean yang belum kahwin biasanya to parents, ataupun to siblings, ataupun to friends, kan?
Ya, betul.
Biasa.
Kalau siapa di rumah sewa, roommate. And dia biasa, memang biasa. Tapi itulah macam Ustaz kata tadi awal-awal, kalau kita buat salah pada manusia, kita minta maaf pada manusia.
Betul.
And apa yang kita dapat selepas kita minta maaf tu adalah benda paling berharga, iaitu ketenangan. Yes. Peaceful. Sebab selagi kita buat dosa pada manusia, kita tak minta maaf, kita hanya mengharapkan doa maaf daripada Allah Ta'ala, dia tetap juga macam berfikir-fikir dalam kepala ni. Yes, so self-love is start from ourselves. Self-love is start, we are not compare ourselves with others. Self-love is start when we are try to get our strength. Kita cari kita punya kekuatan kita. Dan kita mengakui kelemahan kita. Good sharing, Ustaz.
Thank you.
We need to continue. Continue. Iman, boleh tak lagi continue? Pengikat Iman, kita continue lagi dengan Ustaz Mizi Wahid. And then Ustaz ada mention tentang tadi pasal the best yet to come. Ya, saya teringat dalam buku Art of Letting God, yang being delay is blessing. Yes, being delayed. Ya, dan dalam pandemik ni, ada orang memang tak dapat kerja. Ada orang memang belum kahwin pun is delayed. Ada orang belum lagi mencari rezeki, pekerjaan yang dia betul-betul nak dari hidup dia. Dan being delayed is blessing. Dan saya nak Ustaz doakan kami kat sini supaya untuk kita semua bulan Ramadan ni. Saya sebenarnya ada satu buku ni Ustaz. Buku ni adalah buku doa-doa waktu saya pergi umrah.
Wow.
And Masya Allah doa orang untuk yang Ustaz diorang kirim kepada saya. Ada orang 10 tahun kahwin tak ada anak. Ada orang keluarga tengah berpecah belah. Begitu sekali doa yang dikirimkan Ustaz. Dan saya nak Ustaz doakan kepada mereka yang belum ada anak agar dikurniakan rezeki tahun ni atau tahun depan untuk waktu yang Allah tetapkan, Allah berikan orang yang belum kahwin. Ni ramai Ustaz saya dalam keadaan ramai yang meluahkan pada saya juga. Dalam keadaan pandemik ni ada orang yang masih lagi tercari-cari kerja. Masih lagi macam ke sana ke sini, jumping sana jumping sini. Masih ada lagi orang yang tak tahu apa yang dia nak dalam hidup dia. Doakan kami di sini Ustaz.
InsyaAllah saya doakan semua orang. Saya rasa seluruh dunia. Tadi ada orang saya nampak dia minta saya jawab dalam bahasa Melayu. So lagi 5 minit ni saya cakap bahasa Melayu pula lah, okay? Sampaikan hajat orang, insyaAllah Allah sampaikan hajat kita. So, saya memang mendoakan semua orang. Saya pun pernah bila saya pergi umrah, orang kasih list doa macam itulah, tebal gitulah, orang kasih panjang doa macam-macam. Masya Allah, memang kita kalau yakin dengan kekuatan doa ni, itulah yang akan mendatangkan kebahagiaan dan ketenangan dalam hidup kita. Antara doa yang saya ingat, permintaan yang dibaca itu adalah saudara saya yang dia belum lagi dikurniakan cahaya mata. Dah lama, tak salah dah dekat 10 tahun berumah tangga. Alhamdulillah, tahun tu bila saya pulang tu dikurniakan cahaya mata.
Alhamdulillah.
Bukan saya cakap doa saya power. Jangan salah faham pula.
Ya, tak.
Kita depan Kaabah, kan? Kita depan Kaabah. Jadi itulah yang menjadi, saya rasa, dorongan lah. Satu. Ya, dan tahun ni, Masya Allah, tahun ni, baru beberapa bulan ni saya mendapat kabar berita baik lah. Dari dua pasangan teman yang sudah lama saya berkawan dengan mereka, pun dah 10 tahun, dah 9 tahun. Alhamdulillah dikurniakan cahaya mata.
Alhamdulillah.
Jadi kalau kita tidak berputus asa, memang banyaklah cabarannya. Kan, banyak waktu-waktu yang kita rasa seperti nak hentikan segala usaha. Sebab tidak mendapat ataupun tidak melihat kesudahan yang kita inginkan. Okay? Tapi jangan kita putus asa, kita terus berdoa, kita terus berusaha, kita terus yakin. Kita minta orang lain doakan kita juga. Macam mana Atika minta saya doakan, saya pun sama, saya selalu minta orang doakan untuk saya juga. Supaya saya selamat, dikurniakan kesihatan, hidup saya diberkati, saya dapat terus menjalankan usaha dakwah, kerja-kerja saya, bisnes saya dan semuanya. Dapat menulis buku lagi. Sekarang ni tak ada masa nak tulis. Jadi, saya nak ucapkan terima kasih kepada semua. And also, lastly, I just wanted to say, I feel really blessed, really grateful to be able to work with Borders, to see my books in Borders. Borders dulu kat Singapore ada tau, sekarang dah tak ada lagi. So, it used to be one of my favorite bookstores. Sewaktu saya muda dulu, remaja, saya sekarang masih muda lah. Tapi waktu saya remaja dulu, saya suka duduk dekat Borders, dekat Singapore, duduk baca buku. Saya dulu memang suka baca buku, beli buku. Jadi, Borders was my favorite store. I was really sad. Ramai Singaporeans pun sedih lah. Yang Borders dah tak ada lagi. Tapi, I feel really, really honoured bila saya dapat tahu yang buku saya berada di semua Borders di Malaysia. So, I just wanted to say thank you, Borders Malaysia, for having my book and for organising this session today. And I look forward to our next engagement, insyaAllah.
InsyaAllah. And from Iman and also Borders, thanks again. And then this campaign is still going. We also have the books with me, but only have The Art of Letting God. Jujur But yeah, really, if people ask me, but different books is giving a different solution. But yeah, The Art of Letting God is a turning point. It's a turning point because it's the first book. So yeah, it's turning point to get know you. Macam mana cara pencapaian penyerahan yang Ustaz adakan luahkan semua dalam buku ni. Dan selain itu, Iman and X Borders kita masih lagi ada 20% off untuk semua buku Ustaz. Kita ada lagi sesi iftar, tapi itu dah habis program untuk lucky draw. So kita ada next iftar insyaAllah dengan Aisyah, Dr. Muharika dan Ustaz Parul. Kalau tak ada COVID ni memang confirm Ustaz Liana Musfira dengan Ustaz Mizi Wahid confirm full book dekat Malaysia ni. Dan juga kita ada next live station Aiman Azlan and Ustaz Syari. Ini semuanya jadual padat-padat ni. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much again Ustaz. Thank you so much really. Thank you so much again. Okay, Alhamdulillah. And Ustaz boleh tak kita sama-sama sebut Rising Bravely Together Iman X Borders. Okay, boleh? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Rising Bravely Together Iman
X Borders.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum. Thank you so
Ramadan
much.
Mubarak semua. Bye-bye. Assalamualaikum.
Ya, Ramadan Mubarak.